everybody. This is Brandon and Ernie True for Calvary Cork. We are here in Carrigaline waiting for you to join us this morning, or this afternoon rather, for a very, very fun segment of Lighthouse Beacon. So hopefully you guys had a chance to download our memory verse coloring page that we had from earlier in the week.
Let me show it to you.
That one right there.
There you go.
With the angelic music that goes along with it.
That's right.
If you haven't had a chance to download that, make sure that you go back through the comments fields. You'll be able to find it in there or in the documents section of the Calvary Cork Life page, and you'll be able to download that and color it and draw a picture, and we'd love to see the things that you drew in there. So today we're actually going to talk a little bit about that, but I think it's time for us to get rolling. What do you think?
Yep, definitely.
Very, very cool. Well, Miss Ernie is, she's going to take over for just a second here while I go get the supplies that we need for our memory verse games. So hang tight back just a little bit.
Okay, guys, so about this page. So we made this page for you, and if you got to listen to Mr. Mike's teaching on Sunday, he told us that this was our new memory verse, and it comes from 2 Timothy chapter 4, verse 17, and we're going to work on it today. Like Mr. Brandon said, we've got a cool game for you guys. But it says, "But the Lord stood by me and strengthened me." And so that's really, really a cool verse that we're going to talk about today. And it comes from this time where Paul was talking to Timothy, and he was saying that, there was a time where he felt by himself. He felt like he was all alone. And he was able to say, but the Lord stood by him and gave him strength to do what he needed to do. Okay.
Hey, Miss Ernie, are you there?
Yes. Okay, hold on. Andy's showing up. Hold on, guys. Andy.
Hey, guys, how are you doing today?
Hey, Andy, how's it going?
Hello. It's so good to see you.
Internet.
I mean, to kind of be seen, because I'm not really seeing you per se.
Hold on. I'm getting our chairs out of the way.
Oh, yeah, we don't need those because, we're standing and stuff.
Yeah, we're standing, but
Yeah,
we're standing far away from you. Can you come
I'm not standing too far away
You're
from you.
standing a little bit far. Oh, here you go. Perfect.
Is that any better?
Yep. Hey, Andy, so how's it going? What have you been up to?
Well, we're doing pretty good.
Yes.
Hey, what was that memory verse you were talking about just a little bit ago?
Oh, our memory verse for this week is 2 Timothy chapter 4, verse 17. And it says that the Lord stood by me and strengthened me. Isn't that awesome?
That sounds awesome. Hey,
Yeah.
there was one time that my dad stood by me and he strengthened me. Do you want to hear a story?
Okay, you know what? Sometimes our parents are awesome at that. They stand with us. They give us strength. You have a story?
Yeah, my dad's super awesome.
Okay.
It came from a while ago. Not like just like the other day or anything, but it was a little while ago.
A few weeks ago, maybe.
Maybe I'm not really good with
Okay,
time
so a while ago, what happened?
It was a while ago, but we went camping. Have you ever gone camping?
Do you
before?
guys go camping?
Do you go camping?
Like in a tent with a fire and you make food. I mean, that's the best.
I really like to go camping. Camping is a lot of fun.
The only thing I don't like about camping is there's usually not a hot shower, and I really like hot showers. But other than that, it's pretty cool. You're outside.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. So I went camping with my dad, but I was a little bit scared.
Why were you scared?
Well, when you're out there camping and stuff, sometimes there's scary things that are out there, especially when it's like dark and things.
Okay.
And so
what were you scared of?
Come a little bit closer. I'm gonna whisper it into your ear. Okay.
Okay. Just right there. Okay. Oh.
Yeah.
That does sound scary.
Yeah.
Really
so
scary.
Should I tell the kids?
I
they're
think
not gonna laugh
so.
at me, are they?
No, you guys aren't gonna laugh, right? We don't laugh at our friends, and so Andy, I think you can definitely tell them what you were scared of.
Okay. I'm scared of Bigfoot. Yeah.
And for us who don't know as much about
like here in Ireland, you guys have like little leprechauns. In the States, they have this ginormous creature, and his name is Bigfoot, and he's like huge.
Okay.
Like super, super huge.
Well,
he's huge, and he has big feet, and he's hairy, and he's strong, and sometimes I hear that he doesn't like when people are out camping and being in his house or his neighborhood area.
Okay, so you were afraid that you were camping near Bigfoot's area.
Uh-huh.
And that he was going to make you smell his giant foot.
Yes.
Really? That's what
with,
you're afraid of?
with his big feet toe jam.
Ew, that's disgusting.
It sounds terrible, I know. But, my dad, he said, Andy, you don't have to be afraid.
Okay.
And I was like, well, why don't I have to be afraid, Dad? Because, Bigfoot is like big and
right.
he's got
he
big
can come
feet
with
and
his
he's
big
hairy
feet and
he's
his
strong
toe jam
and
and
his toe jam
disgusting.
and it smells horrible and nasty. And he's like, you don't have to be afraid because I'm like right here by you. And so,
okay.
in fact, hold on one second. I have something I want to show you, okay?
Okay. I wonder what Andy's going to show us. Maybe he captured Bigfoot's toenail. That would be disgusting.
This is an artist rendition of Bigfoot right here.
You drew a picture of?
I didn't draw a picture, but I had here. Show everybody.
Let me see.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to show you guys. This is an air freshener for Bigfoot.
Yeah,
I'm afraid to
scary,
smell this because if it smells like a Bigfoot, I don't want to smell that.
No, I don't want to smell that either. But that I just want to show you what Bigfoot might look like.
Okay, so he looks
my dad,
big and hairy.
Yeah, big and hairy. But my dad was like, I'm gonna stand right here by you, and you don't have to be afraid.
Okay. So what happened?
So
were you like afraid to go to sleep that night? What happened to you?
Well, I sat there a little bit.
Okay.
And I got to thinking. I was kind of like.
That's my.
But not touching my face because of the COVID-19 thing. Coronavirus thing.
Okay. Yeah. So you were sitting around thinking about it.
But I was thinking, when the night has come, and the land is dark. And like the moon is like the only light that you see.
Wow, this sounds strangely familiar.
That I will not be afraid.
Okay.
No, I will not be afraid.
So sounds familiar.
Just as long as my dad stands by me.
Wow, that was beautiful. That was almost like a song. That was almost like a Songversation.
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 Right.
Okay,
yep. So
I see what you did there.
Then every time I got scared, I was like, Dad, Dad, stand by me. Okay. Oh, Dad, stand by me.
This is getting a little ridiculous.
Okay, that's all I need to do right there.
Okay, so when you were afraid, you asked your dad, Dad, stand right next to me, stand next to me. And
I did.
And I won't, well, why wouldn't you be afraid? I mean, your dad?
Because my dad is also big and hairy and strong like Bigfoot.
Your dad is like Bigfoot?
Well, he doesn't have big feet, but he's big and strong.
So he's like a tall guy.
And hairy,
he's
like a Bigfoot.
Muscly. And you knew that he could take care of you if anything happened to you.
I knew. And then my dad also had a secret Bigfoot weapon.
And what is that?
Hot sauce.
Hot sauce. Okay.
It is a little known fact
Bigfoot.
that big feet, is it big feet or Bigfoots? Bigfoots. Big feet.
Okay, Bigfoots.
They are terrified of hot sauce.
Oh, okay. And he had some hot sauce with him.
Yep. He sprinkled a little bit right behind my ear.
Okay.
And then he said there's no need to be afraid of Bigfoot anymore.
Right. Because if Bigfoot came near you, he would smell the hot sauce.
And he would run away.
He would run away.
In a terrified fright.
You know what? I'm so glad that I know that. Now when I go camping, I will also sprinkle my children with hot sauce.
With hot sauce.
Everyone will be safe.
Yep. So my dad stood by me.
Yes.
And he helped me to not be afraid anymore of Bigfoot.
Good. You know what? Today we're talking about our memory verse, which says, the Lord stood by me and strengthened me. And that's kind of like your dad. I mean, not against Bigfoot, but Paul was saying to Timothy, who was kind of like his son, in a way, that the Lord stood by him and gave him strength, and he knew that the Lord was going to be faithful to him. So great job illustrating our point today.
Thanks. I do what I can. All right. I got to go. Talk to you guys later. Thanks.
Okay.
Bye.
All right, bye, Andy. All right, guys. Andy's pretty silly. But you know what? He had a pretty good story there. Now, I haven't been camping in a long time. Hold on one second. But when I go camping, I like to sing. When you make a fire and you go out there and sing. And we're going to talk a little bit more about our memory verse in a few minutes. Mr. Brandon and I are going to help you sing a song. Now, last time we sang a song, I was so blessed and encouraged, and we heard from some of you that you guys were at home singing, and that afterwards, even maybe in the day or two after, you've been singing the Jesus, Jesus, Tremble song. And so today we're just going to sing one song. It's a song that we've done in children's church before, and it is Reckless Love. Raise your hand if you remember Reckless Love. Yeah, I can't see you, but I'm assuming that a lot of you remember this song. Now, if you don't remember it, I'm going to help you out a little bit. But if you do remember it, I want you to clear your throat everybody do that. Clear your throat. And get ready to sing nice and loud, because you know what? Jesus really, really enjoys it when we sing. And so we're going to sing this, and then we have a memory verse game.
Yes, we have a memory verse game.
Okay, guys. So let's sing this together, okay? First part is before I spoke a word. Here we go. Before I spoke a word, you were singing over me. You've been so, so good to me. You've been so, so good to me. Before I took a breath, you breathed your life in me. You've been so, so kind to me. You've been so, so kind to me. All right, guys, now you know this part. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. Oh, it chases me down, fights till I'm found, leaves the 99. I couldn't earn it, I don't deserve it, still you give yourself away. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. Alright guys, that was pretty good. We're going to start again at the very top. So if you remember the first words, before I spoke a word, here we go. Before I spoke a word, you were singing over me. You've been so, so good to me. You've been so, so good to me. Before I took a breath, you breathed your life in me. You've been so, so kind. You have been so, so kind to me. All right, guys, sing this part out. Here we go. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. Oh, it chases me down, fights till I'm found, leaves the 99. I couldn't earn it, I don't deserve it, still you give yourself away. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. Alright guys, this is the part where we get kind of low with our voices. Sing, there's no shadow, you won't light up. Here we go. No shadow you won't light up, mountain you won't climb up, coming after me. There's no wall you won't kick down, no wall you won't kick down, lie you won't tear down, coming after me. No shadow you won't light up, mountain you won't climb up, coming after me. No, you won't kick down, lie you won't tear down, coming after me. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. Oh, it chases me down, fights till I'm found, leaves the 99. I couldn't earn it, I don't deserve it, still you give yourself away. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. All right, guys, good job. Jesus loves it so much when we worship him, so good job, guys. All right, Mr. Brandon's going to come back, and he has something that he has drawn up that he's going to show you to help today with our memory verse. All right, guys, so be thinking about our memory verse. Remember that it's from 2 Timothy chapter 4, verse 17. All right, guys, Mr. Brandon's about to sit up, so I'm going to get out of here.
All right, guys, it's so good to see you again. Who can tell me what this is right here? Any ideas? That's right. It's a tree. Now, today in our memory verse, the memory verse says that, but the Lord stood by me and strengthened me. And so this verse, it's found in 2 Timothy 4:17. It's actually just the first part of 2 Timothy 4:17. And it's an answer to what was happening earlier on in 2 Timothy chapter 4, where Paul said everybody had left him. He was there all by himself. He was all alone, just like a tree right here. That was it. But it's not just like a big tree that's been there for a long time, super strong, has deep roots, and is just like, way powerful. It was like a spindly, tiny tree that had just kind of begun to grow. And he said everybody had left him, and that all these things that were starting to happen was like the wind that was blowing. And he was shaken by that, and he was bent over, and the wind was too much for him to handle. But you know what? He says that he wasn't there by himself. He was there with the Lord. The Lord stood by him. He was on his own, but he was not alone. You see, even when those difficult, bad things that were happening, the tough stuff that he was dealing with, being in prison, being on his own, having all of his friends leave and go for whatever reason it was that they had left, he wasn't alone. You see, the Lord stood by him. And so right here, have you guys ever seen one of these trees before where they have a post that's right out there next to the tree, and it's tied off to the tree? It's to help it stand up nice and straight. It's to give it the strength that it needs so that when wind comes or when something goes by it, it doesn't get blown over. So you still see that all the wind is blowing over here, and the wind is trying to blow down the tree, but you know what? The wind isn't moved. The reason it's not moved is because it has something right here standing next to it, strengthening it. And so the Bible tells us that God, he stands with us too, and he strengthens us. And when we put our faith and our trust in God, even when windy things come our way, things that are difficult or hard for us to handle, we're not there all on our own. You see, God is still standing right there with us, strengthening us, helping us to stand strong against that. So there's a little bit of an explanation for our memory verse today. But before we go any further today, we're actually going to do a memory verse game. And so I left a little while ago to go get a few things. And if you guys have a few of these things at home, you can play this memory verse game as well. And so if you have any kind of paper, it can be like a sheet of paper like this, or it could be an index card like this, or maybe it's like even Post-it notes like this. If you have anything like that at home, that is perfect. And then also, if you have a marker or a pen or something to write on those pieces of paper, that's all that you need for this memory verse game. And so you can get these things later, try this at home, have a contest to see who can get through the memory verse the fastest and the best. What you're going to do is you're going to take those papers and you're going to write each and every word of the memory verse on there. And so our memory verse for this week is, but the Lord stood by me and strengthened. You have to see that one kind of up close.
Strengthened was a big word, so we had to write it sideways.
We wrote it a little bit smaller on our smaller cards. Now, you don't want to have your papers too huge for this one unless you have a whole lot of space. So smaller cards for smaller space is good. Strengthened me, and it's found in 2 Timothy chapter 4, verse 17. And what you're going to do is you're going to take all those pieces of paper, and Miss Ernie is going to spread them out onto the floor. Now, you're not going to be able to see this because I can't turn my computer upside down and point it at the floor. So sorry. But Miss Ernie is going to take these words, and she's going to put them on the floor in a random way and kind of mix them up like you would if you were looking for cards or things. She's pushing me out of the way. There you go.
All right, guys, so you're just going to take your words that you've written on your paper, and you're just going to put them on the floor. And like Mr. Brandon said, you need a little bit of room because you don't want the papers to be all on top of each other. You want them to be kind of spread out, right? And you're going to need a little bit of room because what we're going to do next is the fun part. So let me just finish putting these all over the floor, and they're just all in random order. And now what we're going to do is Mr. Brandon has the challenge of jumping from one word to the next word in our memory verse. All right, so here.
Do I start on the first word or do I not start on the first word?
You don't start on any words.
Okay.
All right, guys, so let's say this one together again, okay? I'm holding up our coloring page. We're going to say it together.
Am I jumping while you're saying it together?
Not yet.
Okay.
Everybody say, but the Lord stood by me and strengthened me. And that's 2 Timothy 4:17. All right, guys, so let's help Mr. Brandon out. The words are scattered all over the floor, and Mr. Brandon has to jump. Actually, I think that he should jump like a bunny rabbit. Wouldn't that be better? Bunny rabbit?
Kangaroo.
Bunny rabbits like this? Like
Kangaroo.
Adorable. Okay. All right, guys. So the first word is but. So find but. The Lord, watch out, stood by me and, that was a fire one, strengthened, me. 2 Timothy 4:17. That was pretty good. All right, guys, give him a hand. Now, that was us kind of taking it easy. I think that we should make it a little more challenging. So this time, I think that, Mr. Brandon, let's see. I think that you should, jump and clap. Okay? So jump and clap. Let's do jump and clap 2 times. All right, here we go. I'm going to mix up these words a little bit more because I think that was pretty good, but I think we can do a little bit better. All right, here we go. All right, so jump, and while you're in the air, you have to clap 2 times.
Okay.
2 times.
Okay.
All right, here we go. But the
I gotta find that.
Lord stood by me and strengthened me. 2 Timothy 4:17. All right, that was pretty good. All right, and we're going to do it one more time. And you guys can add whatever you want in there. And right now what I'm going to do is every time Mr. Brandon jumps, this is so fun, guys, I'm going to have him make a farm animal sound. All right, so think of your favorite farm animal. It could be a cow. It could be a duck. It could be a chicken. You could like mix it up. All right, and Mr. Brandon, you have to jump from one word to another and make a farm animal sound. I'm going to spread these out just a little bit. You know, Mr. Brandon's really tall. I think he can take it. All right, here we go, guys. Let's see if your favorite farm animal shows up in our sounds, okay? All right, now we've got to say the memory verse with him. And if you are doing this game with your parents or with your brothers or sisters, they can help you by saying the memory verse with you. All right, here we go. But
moo,
the
oink,
Lord
quack,
stood
nay,
by
moo, I guess again.
You can moo again.
Okay.
Me.
Oink.
And.
Yeah. Quack.
Strengthened.
Moo.
Me.
Oink.
2 Timothy.
Bah.
4:17.
Nay.
All right, guys. All right, that was pretty good. All right, now you guys can do it however you want, and we are. You know what? Should we both try it? Okay.
You need to try.
Okay. All right. So spread those out. All right, Leanna, this is for you. And you know what? I would love to see a video of you doing it. So when you try this at home, you can feel free to have your parents take a little video and maybe send it to us or post it into the comments on our memory verse page.
Are you farm animal noising it as well?
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
You know what? Maybe do you have a different challenge? Do you have something else you want?
I don't at the moment.
Okay, farm
animal.
How about just any animal?
Okay.
Any animal.
You can name any or do an animal noise of whatever you want. All right.
Okay.
Jungle animal, farm animal, whatever kind of animal. We got to start with the drum roll. So, are you ready? Drum roll, please.
All
right. But
roar.
The
Meow.
Lord
Ribbit.
stood.
Where is stood? Oh, there it is. Roar again.
By.
Squeak, squeak.
Me.
All I can think of is silent animals like bunnies or
Giraffe.
Giraffes don't make.
What does the fox say?
I don't think that's what I should do.
Dog. Go.
Woof woof.
And.
Ooh, I can't even do it. Meow.
Strengthened.
Ribbit.
Me.
Roar.
2 Timothy.
Roar. I don't even know what that was.
417. That was an elephant of some kind.
Oh, that was an elephant. Roar again.
Very nice. Everybody give Miss Ernie a great big round of applause.
All right, Leanna, that was for you. Hope you enjoyed that. I know I did. All right, guys. So we are all done with our memory verse for today. And like I said, if you want to do your video of you doing the memory verse with your cards all over the floor, have your parents take a video and post it into the comments of the memory verse post.
I will have bonus squid quid for anybody who does a video of them doing this memory verse challenge.
There you go. And you know what? If you get your parents to do it as well, another squid quid. I'll just give a squid quid for that. Anyway. All right, guys. You're unnatural. Really? What does that even mean?
You're natural at jumping and making animal sounds.
You missed your calling. Wow, guys. There's a consensus here. All right, guys. Well, before we sign off, we want to just say that we love you guys so much, and we would love to pray with you.
And so with that, you guys are awesome. Let's get rolling. Lord, thank you so very much for our time together today. The fun that we get to have, hearing from Andy, singing some songs and doing some weird fun games and making weird fun noises. Lord, you're amazing and you're awesome. And we thank you that you stand by us and give us the strength that we need to face and weather whatever situation comes our way. And right now we're faced with this kind of isolation, quarantine situation here where we don't get to hang out with each other face to face and in person like we would like to. Sometimes it can get a little challenging and overwhelming. We might even feel a little bit bored at times, but you're right there with us. We may be on our own, but we are not alone. And we thank you that you stand with us and love us and strengthen us and encourage us and build us up and are right there to be along with us through this whole situation, no matter how difficult it may seem to us or feel to us. And so, Lord, we thank you for that. And we just ask that you'll continue to do so and that you'll uplift our spirits and give us hope and reason for joy, and that we can share that joy and that love that you give to us with all of our friends and all of our neighbors and those that we come into contact with from our social distancing of 6 feet away. So, Lord, thank you so very much. And we love you. And we ask this all in Jesus' name. Awesome. So with that, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us today. We look forward to seeing you guys Sunday with Mr. Mike's message. And then remember to do the download of our memory verse and the activity page that goes along with that there. And we'll talk to you guys again soon. See you next week.
All right. Bye.